Have you ever left a job?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, why? Why did you leave a job?
Manager.
Manager. Okay. Any other reason you might have left a job?
Director.
Director.
Harassment.
Harassment. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it's a nasty situation. Any other reasons for anyone left a job? Yeah.
Lack of appreciation.
Lack of appreciation. Okay. Okay.
Curiosity.
Curiosity. Okay. So try something new. All right, Debbie. Okay. So some other reasons you might leave a job. Has anyone ever moved abroad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or you might have worked abroad. Another reason maybe family. Have any of you ever had to give up your job to look after children or kind of when they're going to school? Or maybe career opportunities. So anyone got a better opportunity with another job?
Yeah.
You weren't getting promoted? Stress. Me. I left a job because of stress. I used to be an accountant, hated every second of it. And COVID-19, also me. So last year, or 2 years ago, obviously, we were really impacted by the coronavirus and also the other tourism sectors, hotels, restaurants, retail. So there's plenty of reasons why you might leave a job. So next slide. So my career path, September 2012 to about April 2017, I worked 4.5 years as an accountant. This was me at the end of it. 2017 I fell in love with English language teaching, so I worked with Emerald and then I went to Grafton and then I went to Francis King in 2019 as student services. I felt this was me all the time on the phone to host the students. It felt a bit like a hotel service. And then because of the pandemic I then went to eLearning officer, so now I'm like Moz from the IT crowd. Not quite like Moz. So I'm no stranger to changing career, as you can see. This one was the most difficult because this time I was giving up something I loved for financial stability. So now I'm an eLearning officer or executive with Citizens Information Board. So anyone familiar with eLearning?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what eLearning is in a nutshell.
Online, doing everything that you could do in person online and maybe better, and sometimes worse.
Okay, yeah, teaching online. Any other ideas about what eLearning entails?
Using technology to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Technology ideally to enhance learning, not just as a substitute.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, definitely. So I figured I was teaching online for, a year and a half. eLearning, no bother. A little bit different. So eLearning for me and Citizens Information Board, if you wouldn't mind, Gabrielle, the next slide. Okay, so eLearning. So I do a lot of research. Okay, so we have a fantastic website, citizensinformation.ie. If any of you have ever used the services at all, it's brilliant. So a lot of the courses that I would do are for the service providers. So my first step is going to the website. Second step is subject matter experts. I work a lot with subject matter experts. They're usually other teams in the Citizens Information Board and particularly the digital content team who manage the website. And they know everything about the social protection, social policy, employment law. They are my first port of call after the website and also to double check to make sure that everything is accurate. And then my next step is to script the lesson. So once I've gathered my notes, I put together a script. And I will start with the basic information. Okay, how would you make... I have a course on pensions. Pensions is not the most interesting topic, but it's an important one. How would you make a course on pensions more interesting for a learner that you cannot talk to? This is something they're going to learn on their own. How would you do it?
Interactivity.
Interactivity, okay, yeah.
Show them the benefits.
Show them the benefits, okay. What did you say again, sorry?
Find out what questions they have, what needs they have.
Okay, but I can't talk to them. So I make a course and then they go off and do it. And they're all in different parts of the country. So I have to make assumptions. Yeah?
So based on that, you can actually provide different ways of learning for people who have different needs.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Make it relevant for them.
How would you make it relevant for them?
Show pictures of people without a pension.
Okay, scenarios. Scenarios. So I use a lot of scenarios in my script, stories. So I have Jim, he's 64, he's going to be retiring in 3 years' time now, 67, 70 by the time I'm retiring. And he wants to know what his pension entitlements are and what he can do and what will happen if he doesn't do this. So that's a big part of my script, is coming up with plausible scenarios, and I go back to my service providers and ask them, what are the questions that you get? So after someone does a course, they have to do an evaluation. And one of the questions is, give me an example from a real life example, and then we change it around a bit. So I script the lesson, I do a first draft, and then it goes back to my subject matter expert, and they said, no, this is rubbish, do it all again. Not that. But they will maybe say, this has changed, this isn't quite realistic, so you go back, and then we actually get to design the course, so that's the fun part. So you pick a theme. So for a course on pensions, what do you think would be a nice, interesting theme to engage the learner?
Holidays in the future.
Yeah, okay, what are you going to do when you retire? So holidays, give you something else that you might do when you retire.
Garden.
Yeah.
Gardening, golf, whatever it is. Okay, so I've been warned, 5 minutes, I better hurry up. So these are the programs that I use. So Articulate, it's like PowerPoint on steroids, basically. Getty Images, it's a good repository, and this is our learning management system. The next step is quality assurance and testing. So then I will try and break the course, is pretty much it. And IT support for the learners, so once it's been sent out, they will tell me that they can't access their certificate, they can't access their course, they are doing something wrong, the quiz questions aren't working. So that's a big part of my job as well. So how is it connected with ELT? So a lot of transferable skills for lesson planning. So multimedia online classes, so using different imagery, videos, trying to come up with scenarios to engage the learner, same way you would do in a normal classroom, and building rapport. I'm on the phone to a lot of the service providers, so I have to be approachable and they have to feel comfortable calling me. That's different. Limited interaction, like I said, I make the course and then they go off and do it, so I don't get to talk to them in real time. Definitely a lot more IT support. I work with programs like Articulate, with Moodle, Innovation for running reports to see what they're doing. The learner is not the end user. This is specific to me. So this is public service. So it's really important that the information is accurate, because that's going to be passed on to Mary and Joe and Ryan on the street, which means that SMEs are crucial. So I rely heavily on SMEs. I don't have as much creativity with my courses the way I would in a classroom. So,
Can I ask what SME?
Oh, subject matter expert. So the experts of the thing. So ways that you can stay connected, and ways I've stayed connected in ELT, are through social media. I follow Lingua Viva on Instagram, and I interact a lot with the questions that are asked, even for the students. So I do social media as well. Gabby put in mind the next one.
Sorry.
Activity programs, so I love music and I sing, so I've taken part in some music nights and evenings, again with Lingua Viva. So if you have a teacher who's talented photographer, maybe they can do a photography workshop, if they do an art class, find a way for them to stay connected even if they've left. A career talk, if you have someone who's worked in another career or is working in another career, get them to come in, talk to your students. They might be better placed because they'll also have done interviews and be able to provide relevant experience. You can present at an ELT conference or do a TED Talk. It's a great way to learn from your peers and get different points of view as well on different aspects of things. And then you can write a book. I've written an activity book and contributed articles as well. Write on your experience. How does it marry with ELT as well, the experience that you have? And then volunteer. So obviously we've had recent influx of Ukrainians coming in, and there's lots of people who are teaching in the evenings, maybe when they're doing another job. You could volunteer your time at the weekends, or you could just maybe just decide to, not even with beyond teaching, maybe you could just do some free conversation with someone who might want to do it. So yeah, there you go, a few ideas to stay connected with ELT. So thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
the schools be better at keeping in touch with their alumni?
Yeah, that's a good. So I guess it helps that I stayed friends with a lot of people. So the first thing is if you're friends with someone who's left, just send them a text. How you get on? How are you doing? Like I said with the activities, like if you're doing an activity and do you know what, Brian was really good and he's got a guitar and we want to do a coffee night or you might have conversation classes that you want to do with them. So I just maybe involve them that way if you've got something going on, just in a really informal way to start, because I'm sure usually someone who wants to stay connected will.